Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots.com, and today I'm going to be making the fancy boots in the Gnome shoes and boots pattern. If you'd like to make it, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here crafting. Now this is part of the shoes and boots pattern, which will be linked below. You cut out the toe piece and then glue the triangles together. In sewing, this is called darting, but I was requested to do hot glue gun shoes, so this pattern includes a ton of shoes and boots you can make with just a hot glue gun. So I'm going to go through and do each of these tabs, letting the glue cool just a second and then wiping it away. If you have a silicone mat, you can actually build this right on the silicone mat, never putting your fingers on the glue at all. All right, so one more tab. And you can see this is made out of craft foam. I'm going to be using a couple of different types of craft foam that was requested, but you can use a thick felt or even fleece, but you might need a backer on that one. So you can see I flip it right sides out, and then I'm just going to trim off these very two back corners because I wanted it a little shorter and lower. Then I'm just going to glue that thin edge down right onto the temporary footbed. Next up, I'm going to take my cut pieces. These are adhesive foam, and the reason I'm using this is just because I was requested to use it. I'm going to pull off just a small amount of the paper backing and then put everything back on. Now this is just temporary. If you don't have foam with sticky backing, you're going to assemble it the same exact way as I'm showing here, bending it flat and gluing it down. Just make sure that the shaft of the boot, you can bend the foam so the shaft of the boot stays straight up. So you can see we're all the way on, all the way around. I'm actually going to press it down really, really tightly because I didn't trust this join. I'm going to add a little detail that also adds a little stability. So after I make sure this is all tucked in, I'm going to cut an additional piece of white craft foam. You can see it was just an extra because I thought I wanted the black footbed in front. Turns out I didn't. You can make that design call. Now before I sew everything down with an embroidery needle and thread, I do give a little bit of a trim. I still want that black foam to show up on the bottom. You can see that is also adhesive foam because I was thinking I could just stick it onto something, but again, I didn't trust these joins to stay with just the adhesive foam. So when I get that all completed, I'm just going to tie it off, cut it off, and then I'm just trimming that back piece there. Just rounding it off. Now this was cut intentionally big. The temporary footbed and the footbed are cut bigger than you need so that it's easy for you to attach the foam. So I'm just basically shimmying up all of my nice corners to make them smooth. I'm going to add a little bit of weight into my gnomes because they were going on the cozy gnome pattern, which is 16 inches tall, and these add quite a bit of height, so I needed a little weight. Before I assemble or string them up and add the tongue, I'm going to add a little bit of decorative fur on here. When it's time to add the tongue, I'm going to go ahead and stick it right into behind the little toe piece, and then I'm also going to glue it to either side of our shaft. Now later we'll be putting in a separator piece to make sure that this always stays. Well, there you go, right there. We're going to put in that separator piece to make sure that it always stays that same width. And I did add a little polyfill just to make sure it didn't fold in on itself. I use the same embroidery thread and large needle to just string up some cross threads as shoelaces. I didn't add any rivets or anything because it was just going to be hidden by my fur accent, but you can do whatever you'd like. You can even use a small hole punch to create holes. For my particular dark unicorn gnome, I wanted a little bit more fur accent along the top, so I just cut that and applied that with hot glue right along that very top edge. Now no one's going to see the inside of that green, so you can use whatever you've got, including cardboard. For the bottom, I cut the same exact footbed and then just glued it and then cut it here. I left the little sticky paper on, but you can take that off. What do you think of this? Let me know below. Also, get the pattern below. Please share and subscribe for more crafty fun.